Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'm bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'd like to give our usual shout out to our patrons. We appreciate all the tips and support. We plan on using it to make the channel better, such as adding more games like roulette and some of the others. So if you're curious about it, go ahead and check out the description of the video, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So for today's video, I want to go over just not a full-blown strategy, just more of, I guess, a modification to strategies. I see this one played fairly often with place bets, and it's kind of a cross between the place bet strategies and a regression strategy in a way. And the way it works, and this would be considering 64 across including, I see people play this with just the inside numbers. I see people play this with just the outside numbers. I see people play it where they don't include the points, so it might just be these numbers because they have a pass line bet with odds, or just these three numbers, again, because they have the pass line bet with odds. If it were me, I would be playing it with 64 across just like this. Although if you've watched our other videos, once you get the gist of this one, you'll understand that I wouldn't play this. It's not a terrible idea, though. Don't get me wrong. This is definitely more of a not quite a grinder strategy, but definitely a strategy designed to keep you on the table a whole lot longer, to stretch out your money. So we'll assume it was 64 cross, but again, it could have been 34 inside, 44 including, 40 outside, 30 outside, whatever it may be. And the way it works is the players that I see play this, they look at the number pairs. They look at the sister numbers, like as we would say in the other video that we had not too long ago, such as the 6 and 8 sister numbers or a number pair, the 5 and 9 a number pair or sister numbers, and the 4 and 10. So they look at each one of those as their own little collective. They plan their strategy just around those numbers, which also means that if they only did the inside, they'd really only be using the strategy for the 6 and 8. For the 5, they would just do their own thing. Maybe they would same bet it or do partial presses or so on and so forth, leading up to regressions. You never know. But again, we're going to do it with 64 cross so we can kind of show you what they do. But it's actually really, really basic what most of these players do. Basically, once a number hits, the first time it hits, they do a full press. So let's say the 8 were to hit. This player will do a full press, collect their money, collect what little bit of money they get, and now the next number that hits out of the pair, out of the sister numbers, they're going to take it down. So let's say the 6 were to hit. Well, if the 6 were to hit, then they would say, take down my 6. Okay, cool. We will take down your 6. So what they have sitting here is $28. They have $28 that they have pulled in profit at this point. So if they just had the inside numbers, they really wouldn't be that far down from the 34 inside they originally did. So now what are they going to do? They split their bet. And they once again have their $12.6 and their $12.8. Now, had the 8 been the one that hit, what they would have done, since the 8 is of course at a higher level since it's already been pressed once, if the 8 were to be the second hit within this pair of numbers, they would not take the 8 down, they would take the 6 down. So they would get paid their 28, but they would say, I'll bring my 6 down. Okay, cool. So we would bring their 6 down, and then they would do it again. They would go right back to what they were planning on doing anyway, which is splitting the one that has been pressed up. Now, should that have occurred, now the player actually has $53 in front of him. So $53 after just 2 numbers have hit, assuming that they would hit just like that, you can kind of see where this is going. The players basically kind of they're trying to hedge themselves down to where these bets are quote unquote free bets, and they would do the same thing with the 5 and 9. They would not do a full press. You wouldn't see them go into a quarter if either one of these hit. What they would do, let's say the 5 hits, then they would take their money. They would say press it all the way up, and they would collect their $4. Now, the next one that hits, regardless of what it may be, we'll say the 5 again, they would say, take my 9 down. we would take the 9 down, and then they would split the 5 and 9 and get themselves right back to where they started at, only they have actually collected $42. $42 collection, you're right back where you're at. So you can kind of see how if you hit a middling roll, just 4 or 5 rolls before a 7, that you've probably pulled down enough that you're really at a wash. You may not be in on this hand at all, or maybe just a couple of bucks. You might be a couple of bucks up. The 4 and 10, of course, should that hit in a double pair, then you're looking pretty solid. So let's say the 10 were to hit, right, that's going to pay you, on most places, it's going to pay you 18. You're going to press it up. You're not going to go all the way. You're not going to a quarter. You're just pressing it up, which means double your bet. And then if the 4 were to hit next, since it would pay the least, then once again, we would say come down, and we would separate ourselves up. And we are looking at $36 in profit, and we're right back to where we were. Now, what if it wasn't the 4 that hit? What if it was the 10 that hit? Well, let's take a look. If the 10 hit for the second time, well, that's going to pay $39. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pay it $40 for this dollar right here. Player will throw in $1, and they say, take my 4 down. You got it. 4 comes down, split my 10 and 4 to the 4. Done. Now, in this case, you've got $57. You started with 64 across. So this is a kind of an addition to whatever strategy you may be using. If you were using an inside number strategy, you could certainly add this in if you wanted to. Again, it's not my thing because you know I press, and just shoot for the moon. It could be your strategy is an outside strategy. Possibly you're an even number strategy. I see people that play that. They only play the 4, 6, 8, and 10. Whatever strategy you're using, if you don't have any additional strategies such as a power press or a partial press, take some, press some, take some, you can certainly add this into your strategy if you like, and go for it. And do whatever you would like with it. At a certain point, players that play this do just start pressing. I've seen them catch a decent hand where they do just start pressing. So you can still, depending on how you press, you can still end up making a pretty decent amount of money on this one. So, I hope you guys find this interesting. It's kind of a shorter video, but it's, again, not a full-blown strategy, just an addition to a strategy. Hope you guys find this one interesting. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you guys have any strategies you would like us to do, please email us at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye.